Bubble Bobble. Yeah, this is Bubble Bobble. Yeah. So you know how to play Bubble Bobble, don't you? You know what that bubble do. Because this is Bubble Bobble for Friends on the Nintendo Switch version 1.1, 1.01e. Guess that means English. This is a game I obtained from the Maryland Library System. I played a bit of Bubble Bobble, obviously, back in the day. Very little of it on the NES. Oh, if you want to play the actual Bubble Bobble, that's actually on the main screen. I might as well show you that a bit later. I'll show you that right now, just to set the table. Now, who's responsible for this? Well, there was a day back in the day when Taito made an arcade game called Bubble Bobble, which I've played on this channel before on the NES Classic, but that was the NES port. That was not the original, and that was not the original game, of course. And as I recall, the original arcade game has a way more activity on it because obviously it's more powerful hardware than the NES was. Depending on whom you ask, this is like one of the best NES games of all time. I think it was Jeremy Parrish had this as his listed this as his favorite NES game ever made. And in two-player mode, it probably could be. I don't have a lot of nostalgia for Bubble Bobble. As I said, I didn't play very much of it as a kid. It's a single-screen action game. You trap enemies, you push them against the wall, you touch them, and they die. If you know what you're doing, you can get chain, you can get combo, you can get score chains, you can get bonus points, that kind of thing. And as I recall, the game can't be finished. Like, you don't get the real ending unless you're playing in two-player mode. And I forget exactly why. It was some kind of weird Easter egg that prevents you from finishing the game unless there's a second player with you. But the rules are laid out here. You trap enemies and you just touch them. So that's how you play normal Bubble Bobble. I'll play this game later. For now, I'm going to focus on the sequel. I at least wanted to show you how a basic game of Bubble Bobble goes. How do you play Bubble Bobble? Blow bubbles, trap enemies, burst them with your spikes. Advanced technique, by bursting bubbles containing fire, thunder, and water, you can quickly destroy enemies. Fire, thunder, and water shoot away from your spikes. I don't remember if that was a thing. You can even bounce on bubbles by holding down the jump button. Can you reach the true ending by clearing all 100 stages? A jaw-dropping twist awaits. Well, it could be like Streets of Rage, where you're like the second player. You have to fight the second player in a duel to the death so you actually wins the game. I don't know. I haven't played Bubble Bobble in 2 decades, maybe 3. Again, because I don't have any nostalgia, I don't have that much nostalgia for Bubble Bobble. I'm kind of coming at it, with a relatively fresh take, I guess. 4-player Bubble Bobble here in this game. Before we get too far, I at least want to show you the basics, because the rules for this game are slightly, well, maybe significantly improved upon here in this game. You won't get a chance to hear the music, really. That's okay. Well, you might splice it in later. Again, if you were of a certain age, this is probably Zuntata's second best soundtrack. After Ninja Warriors, I presume. Blow bubbles. Trap the enemy in a bubble. If you wait too long, they'll get angry and escape. Burst the bubble by hitting them with your horns or your back spikes. When a bubble bursts, any bubbles touching it will also burst. That's how you get combo point chains. Hit the boss with a lot of bubbles to trap them. Bubbles can move in air currents. We'll get to that later. Let's see. You can ride on bubbles by holding the jump button. You can jump and stomp while riding on a bubble. There are also bubbles that have special effects when burst. Pick up food to add to your score. The higher your chain burst, the higher score food will give you. That's a peach, in case you're wondering. I'm legally obligated to say it looks like a peach. Let's bust some bubbles. And I think you can hold down on the D-pad to do a ground pound, which is how you can break some bubbles when you don't want to jump on them. And I think I have the air currents turned on. That's actually explained in the tutorial. Let's make that clear. Press down to duck or stomp on bubbles. Okay. Let's see. Bubbles can move in air currents. Okay. So pay attention to the air currents if you blow a bubble. That's how you know which direction it's going to go. And we're going to hold down to bust that bubble while we're riding it. So you can hold the jump button to ride on it, then hold down to stomp on it. Got that E. You can't blow the bubbles very far, apparently, but that's okay. I'm going to loot. Chocolate bananas. Best kind of bananas. Okay, got a duck and crawl underneath. Which wasn't a thing in the original game, obviously. I don't know what stomping on that X bubble did, but... Can't go underneath that. So I have to crawl underneath and then blow the bubble. So you can't blow the bubble underneath. Intriguing. There was a Puzzle Bobble remake that I played on the PlayStation 4 a while ago. The video might be up already. I'll double check. But I'm pretty sure I haven't put it up yet. Here's where the air currents come into effect. Hold down the D-pad to bust through those bubbles. Whoops. Don't touch any enemies. Stupid Lego blocks. Eat it. I'll take that peach. I have to go up and around. Give me a second. Okay. So I can't get that fruit. We're on a time limit. Which makes sense. See if I can ride the bubble. That careful. So I guess I did that wrong. Can I get that up there? Yeah, go down here and get it. There we go. How many more can I get? Yeah, I won't be able to get them all, but that's okay. I made my point. The music is intentionally getting distorted. I don't know what they're trying to do. Your fall speed isn't that far, isn't that fast. So it makes your drops feel a little bit floaty. It sort of works, I suppose. Got that E. So yeah, I guess you can spell extend. Every extend extra. There you go. So right on these bubbles. So so you have to practice holding the jump button to bounce off those bubbles. Good enough. How we doing? How do I get past them? Yeah. Yeah, so I didn't get a high enough chain, but that's okay. Good enough. Give me the loot. So I want the big fruit. I like big fruit and I cannot lie. Okay, we good? Yeah, we're good. We got it all. All right. I'm recording this with a new Plantronics headset, so I'm curious how that'll go. Screwed that up. Bounce. Yeah, I gotta bounce better. Give me a second. Got it. Okay, so I got those two. As long as these bubbles keep appearing, I'll be able to ride them. But I can't ride them if they're up high. That was stupid. How many lives do I have? 5 lives? Got the N. Missed. Let's try that again. Got it. Give me the loot. Give me the fruit. Okay, that worked out. I think I missed a pair of bananas up top, but that's okay. I got 6 lives, I think. Okay, so spit a bubble, then bounce off it. Seems to be the way it works. Ah, stupid. So I have plenty of lives. I'm not complaining. Come on. This seems fine. If you like Bubble Bobble, this seems fine. I don't know. Again, I don't know how I feel about Bubble Bobble. This feels like a game I would buy in a humble bundle. I guess if I could find a cheap copy of the cartridge, I'd probably buy it. Yeah, I guess you could speedrun this game. Treat it like a score chase, but I mean, like I said, it seems fine. I want to say there was a PlayStation Vita or a DS. Was there a DS port of Bubble Bobble that came out a while ago? Like a European thing? Suck it. Ah, got me. Ah, crap. I can ride the bubble. Haha. Ride it. Just so I don't have to hold the button down. Got him. Bust it. So I do mean to burst this bubble. Bubble Bobble's fine. Give me the fruit. Warhammer 40K, am I right? So I got the D for it. So I got all the letters in the extend. Doesn't that just give me an extra life? I don't remember what extend is for. First of all, if this game is supposed to have a manual, but it's built into the game. Where did I put the cover? I put that through the cover's in the other room. Whatever. Blow bubbles farther away, so I can now use the long shot. Yeah, there is a skill I was supposed to be able to learn. That's cool. So that gives me a point bonus. I don't think there was a demo for this game. Or I think there was a demo for this game, but it was time limited. Like it required an online connection to play. So it was an always online demo that removed itself from the eStore and your Nintendo Switch if you tried to log online to play it after like a certain month in 2023, I guess. I don't know if it was a free game or just a free demo, but it was time limited. Power of extend bubbles. But they're a consumable though, right? So they don't last forever, which might be okay. You don't want the game to be overpowered. You don't want to be overpowered, do you? Bedside Bonanza. So yeah, that's the sequel. I guess we can go through one more. We can go through one more run, and then check out regular Bubble Bobble. I want to do a separate video of Bubble Bobble by itself because I mean I think it's worth it to play the original arcade game. Like again, I'm going through my backlog. This technically isn't part of my backlog, but if I can get a chance to play an old arcade game, that I missed as a kid, I want to try and sample it. So I want to give Bubble Bobble its own like 20-minute run. I don't think I need more than 20 minutes to play Bubble Bobble. It's an arcade game from the 80s. How much time do you have to spend playing that, really? But yeah, this seems perfectly fine. So how do I use the extend bubbles? L or R? No. I have to hold the button down? So let me check on something. Don't need that. Skills with L or R. I thought I was pressing it. Okay. So how do I use the extend bubbles? So we have to earn. Do I have to earn the extend bubbles? I don't see them anywhere. Gimme. I know for people who are saying they don't make modern games are too complicated, and then games like this come out, they're basically just retro friendly. Like after work, you just pop on, you just hop on pop, play some Bubble Bobble. It's fine. It's a chill after work game. Like I could be playing, Star Ocean 3, but that might be well, it's not that much of a. Oh, can I hold? Yeah, don't hold the jump button. Just kind of just bounce on the bubble, I guess. No, it's not. Let's do something else. Whoops, I did that wrong. Let's just go around. If we die, we'll take the L. That could have gone poorly. Okay, I gotta ride the bubble. There we go. We're on a time limit. Hurry up, kids. I don't know how long I get. Maybe an extra 5 seconds. But again, people going for that high score. For people going for that high score, it's a mad rush. Try and get that last fruit. Go on. Can I shoot that? I don't think I can shoot the missile. That's okay. Don't worry about it. Come on, where you at? Spit it up. There we go. All right, they're down. So they're the big threat. So let's get moving. So we're on a time. No, we're not on the time limit. It's just doing a time attack. So maybe there's a point bonus I get for completing a level in a shorter period of time. I don't know. I want the big fruit first. Don't sweat the small stuff. Okay, I think I missed the big fruit there. Okay, I did get it. Okay. It's 8K for that. Nope. Ah. Catch me. Okay, we're good. How many bubbles can I spit? 8? Ow! Bastard. Okay, game over. So we'll go play some Bubble Bobble and end the video. Continue with invincibility? Don't be absurd. I don't know if the game saves my progress. We'll find out in a second. I think it saves my progress. Once you beat the level, you can come back. So let me see where it starts me yeah, because you can just get a higher score, try to get all 3 stars. So I guess the stars are based on your score, I don't know. So let me see where it starts me. Use your set skill with the L or R button. Oh, I didn't set a skill. So you have to set it here. Okay. Now maybe you don't need it. Like in my case, I don't know if I needed it. But maybe you don't. Does this bubble go through walls? That might be something worth checking. We'll see what's going on later. So far, so Bubble Bobble. Music's fine, just whatever. Okay, so the L button spits it out that far. That's a normal bubble. That's a super bubble. So I guess it goes out twice as far. But those are limited, of course. Jeez, bad aim. Bust it. We good? Yeah, we're good. Give me that juicy fruit. Okay, so we get the idea. So I got all 15 bubbles back? Yeah, looks like it. Yeah, I got all 15, so it's 15 bubbles per level. Yeah, I missed it. And let me just press... Okay, so I'm not pressing any buttons. So I'm riding it automatically. But the currents determine where the bubble actually stops floating. It's okay. So I guess if you know what you're doing, you can play for optimal score combos. We'll worry about that later. So is a bubble trapped enemy worth fewer points if you use the super bubbles? And we'll find out in a second. Gimme. Ah, wasn't paying attention. Give me the fruit. Yeah, screwed that up. Okay, we get the idea. Okay, so we'll come back later and play more of this. Probably. I got this game out of my system. I might come back and play it later if it's really cheap. We can do a longer play. Let's actually play the original Bubble Bobble for a bit. Again, I want to do a separate video that focuses on Bubble Bobble, but where's the how to play? So again, the basics. Trap enemies, bust special bobbles, bust special bubbles. Hold down the jump button to bounce on bubbles, so it's not automatic. But it's pretty easy to learn. It's not a particularly complicated skill. You can have I think 2 dozen, maybe 3 dozen bubbles throwing or spit. You can spit like a couple dozen bubbles in this game. Like they are just everywhere. It's like rapid fire. So we can go crazy with it. And of course there are 2 people on screen too. So now we're starting to see the limit of what the NES could do, obviously. But yeah, this game was hot stuff back in the day. Of course, this game runs at 60. I'm only capturing at 30, so fair warning. I think was it the Game Boy version? I think it might be the NES version too, where they had to use interlacing tricks so that they can fit more bubbles on screen at once. I mean, it worked. It's just you just have to keep that in mind. Now it is beginning of a fantastic story. Let's make a journey to the Cave of Monsters. The Cave of Wonders. There you go. Give me the fruit. So I can still jump through the floor. That's good. Ah, missed. Yeah, Team Zuntata. So you have a little bit of air control. I guess it's kind of a deterministic throw. Yeah, you have very little air control when you jump. Yeah, when you jump up into the left or up to the right, you can't really turn around. So keep that in mind. You're committing to a jump direction. Ah! Stupid. And the Game Boy version had it worse, because they were trying to make that game work by making the sprites too big. Like, it was just a mess. Give me that. Hey! Missed the T. Gimme. Got it. So I stopped holding down the jump button. So when the last enemy's killed, all the remaining bubbles turn into food, I guess. How can I jump down a platform? That's a interesting question. Look, I'm not an elite Bubble Bobble player. I'm still learning here. Oh, can you blow bubbles in midair is the question. Yes, you can. A little bit. Yeah, last enemy is usually pretty fast. Okay, so I got the D. Make all the jokes you want. And you just fall. Yeah, you just wrap through the floor. Can't fall more quickly though. At least not to my knowledge. This might be the kind of game where there's a trick to that. Okay, I got the water bubble. Water bubble. So I have to jump on top of it, right? But that water's a quick way to get down. But those are the blue bubbles. Yeah, I don't know of any other way to get down to drop a floor. Again, if there's a trick, I haven't learned it yet. Yeah, I can't drop a floor. Got a water bubble. But I wanted that first. So if I drop through the floor, I wind up on the top again. So that's a thing. Just be careful. What? The fire got me. How many lives do I have left? That it? Wow. How'd I avoid that? Give me the fruit. Now he's dead. Took him a while. The gravity physics aren't like too significant here. Let careful. Should just jumped over him. Didn't know how fast they were. Okay. Well, I'll let your boy. Got the high score. Chala Bogart. I'm the greatest Bubble Bobbler of all time. He only made it to level 8 too. Today's record is round 32. Sorry about his score though. You don't have it like me. You don't have the high score like me. Oh well. So yeah, Bubble Bobble's an okay game, I guess. Like it's a filler game. Like I don't have Taito Legends on the PlayStation 2. I have the sequel. But now that I think about it, the only other way for me to play Bubble Bobble is to play the NES version, which isn't a bad version to play, I've been told. But I really don't have any other playable. I really don't have any other way to play Bubble Bobble except this. So I guess I'll play a bit more of it again. I'll make a separate video just for Bubble Bobble later. This game seems fine, I guess. Again, it seems completely unobjectionable. So I recorded this with my newer Plantronics headset, USB-A adapter. I captured the footage from the mounted Nintendo Switch at 720p. It's going into my Vanco video capture box, which has an HDMI pass-through to the television, which is how I'm playing the game with lower input latency than I would have otherwise. The USB-A adapter is plugged into my quad-core Celeron Windows 10 education laptop with a Windows 10 camera app, capturing this footage at 60 frames a second. Actually, yeah, it is capturing at 60. So I was worried I wouldn't be able to capture it at 60, but I am, so I guess I thought I was playing on the PlayStation. But I need to hook up my PlayStation to this box so I can capture some footage at 60. Depending on what my schedule is for the rest of the evening, I'll probably pull out Ninja Warriors and play that at 60 frames a second. I gotta splice in the music separately, which is fine. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, this is Bubble Bobble for friends on the Nintendo Switch, which includes the original Bubble Bobble arcade game, or unless this is the NES game. I don't know. I tend to believe this is the actual arcade game. I can ask around. I don't know enough about the NES game to know if this is the arcade game or not. But I think either version might be perfectly reasonable. I think there's less flickering than usual, so maybe it is the arcade game. Maybe it is the arcade game.